Hello guys, in this video we'll be talking about the mini machines in Python functions. So sit back, chillax, and let's start coding. Functions are reusable blocks of code designed to perform a specific task. In Python, we have two major types of function. We have the user-defined function and we also have the built-in functions. The user-defined functions are functions that you write yourself to accomplish a specific task. The built-in functions are predefined functions that come with Python, such as the print function, the length function, the zip function, and so many more. But there are two other types of functions. There is the lambda function and there is the recursive function. In this video, we will be talking about the user-defined function. Now, as you can see, I have the print function on my screen. I have the print welcome to my channel and print kindly like and subscribe to this channel. Now, what if I want to print this two more times? I'll just copy this, paste here, copy again, I paste. Now let's run the code and see. Yes, we're getting it 3 good times, which is welcome to my channel, kindly like and subscribe to this channel. Now in Python, we can do this by using a function. Now for us to create a function, we need to use the def keyword, which is def. So first of all, I'm going to remove this. Then I'm going to type def. And now let's give our function a name. I'm going to say follow and open our parentheses, then our colon. Now we're going to print this print function inside the block of our own defined function. We'll now press a tab so it will be under the block of our own function. Now we're going to call our function, so we'll break out of our function block and just type follow. Type follow again. Type follow once more. Now let's run the code and see. Yes, you can see it's printing out 3 times. Welcome to my channel. Kindly like and subscribe to this channel. But sometimes we want our function to take an input and execute a specific task. That is where we use a parameter. A parameter is like a placeholder that allows us to pass information into our function and execute the task. Now let's put a parameter in this function. First of all, I'm going to remove this. Then we're going to go in between our parentheses and give our parameter a name. We're going to call it name. Then we're going to go into our print function, put an F string there. Then we're going to say, welcome to my channel, move this. And we're going to put the name of the channel. So we're going to put our parentheses, our curly braces, and write a name. We'll do this kindly like and we'll change this. And we're going to put our curly braces once more. First of all, we're going to put our F string. Now we're going to put our F string and our curly braces and type the name. Then we're going to break out of our function block and call our function. Now we're going to give this function a name, which is the name of my channel. Say jcode. Now let's run the code and see. Yeah, welcome to jcode channel. Kindly like and subscribe to jcode. So this is how you use parameter in Python. But sometimes we don't always type a name. We want just a default value. Then we can just say name is equals to jcode. Let me just delete this. I'm going to run our code. As you can see, we're also getting welcome to jcode. Now, if I call the function, it runs without adding any value. But even if I add a value, let's say Mushi, and let's run the code and see, you can see we are getting welcome to Mushi channel. You can see that the code still runs the same. Now, we can add more than one parameter and set it as a keyword argument. Now, let's do that and see. Now, as you can see, I have a function named profile, which has 2 parameters, name and age. Now, I'm going to print a statement. I'm going to say my name is name and I am 8 years old. Now, let's call the function. We're going to break out of our function block and we'll call the function. The name is going to be Mushi and the age is going to be 25. Now, let's run the code and see. My name is Mushi and I am 25 years old. Now, as you can see, Python has actually brought out the name and the age parameter. You can see the name here and the age here. But we can actually switch this up. I can call the age first, which is 25. And I can also call the name, which is Mushi, the code still runs the same. You can see it. My name is Mushi and I am 25 years old. Now let's create another function. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to create a function named add, which is going to take two parameters, which is A and B. Now we're going to return our add A plus B. Now we're going to call this function, go out, break out of the function block. We're going to say print our add, and we're going to add 5 and 3. Now let's run the code and see. Yes, we're getting 8. Now, as you can see, we use the return function instead of the print function. Why is that? Now, the difference between the return and the print function is that the print function just shows something on the screen. You tell it, give me this, and it gives you. It's only for the user to see the result once it's printed. Python forgets about it. You can't use it later on in your code. Now let's change our return to print and run the code and see. So we're going to just delete this. Then we're going to change this to print. Remember, our print work with parentheses. Now let's call the function add 5 and 3. Now let's run the code and see. We got 8. Now Python has just given us back our value, and that's just it. The value cannot be reused. Now, the return function sends the result back to wherever the function was called and can save it as a variable and use it later on for more tasks. Now, let's change back to our return. Just going to remove this and say return A plus B. Now we're going to save this in a variable named results. So we'll say results is going to be equals to our add 5 and 3. Now let's run the code and see. Now, as you can see, there was no command because we did not call our result variable. Now let's call our result variable. So we'll say print our results. Now let's run the code and see. Now we're getting 8. Now this return has stored this value in this result variable, and now we have called the result. But we can also do further arithmetic. So we can just say result. We say print result once more again. I'll say result times 2. Now let's run the code and see. Now we're getting 8, and now we're getting 16 because 8 times 2 is 16. Now that is what the return function does in Python. It stores our function in a variable so we can use it on for further calculation, further logic, and further programming. So that's the difference between the return and the print. The print just sends back your command while the return stores it until you call it. So guys, this is function in Python. Can you like, share, drop a comment, and subscribe to see my next video.